What's up? How we doing? I just wanted to make a quick video on how not to get wrecked. Okay, it's a very volatile market. It's so easy to lose your money. I just wanted to point out some really simple points. You can make a really long video about how to check if a token's safe and how to risk management and blah 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 blah. But just a couple points, really basic points that I'd like to point out. So let's hop right into it. Okay, the first thing might seem pretty obvious to you. But trust me, I've messed up on this quite a few times when I started out. Is don't buy the top. Okay, so let me just pull up an example here. If it loads, um, I think I don't remember exactly. But I think when I was talking about this token before, someone bought it, all right, and they bought it at like 6.6, which I'm assuming it was about right here. And I just feel bad for them. That probably didn't work out too well. I mean, but by now, I mean, if you held on, you would be pretty all right. But personally, okay, I'm not an investor. I'm a trader. Okay, if it goes up, I want to sell. If it goes down, I want to buy. That's how I go about things. All right. So if I see something like this, okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for a good entry. Maybe this is a good entry. Okay, this right here, anywhere in here could be a good entry. Okay, but at the top right here, I personally wouldn't do that. All right, if you're gonna again, it's kind of objective. Okay, if you're investing into something and you're looking at it in the long term, if you're looking at this on like the 4 hour chart, for whatever reason, you may say, oh well, it's probably gonna head up here in the long term. You don't really care. Okay, but personally, even if you were, why not wait for a better entry? Okay, that's just the. I'm gonna try not to rant. I'm gonna try try to keep this one short. So that's the first thing. Okay, don't buy the top. All right, wait for a good entry. If it comes up, it's bound to come down. It's just how things work. Okay, so there's a bunch of examples I could do of that. I mean, even if we go to like GST, here if it loads, this one I definitely like to trade. Um, it, you know this one, sometimes it works. Like you could buy the top right here, and then it completely goes. There are certain situations where it works, but most of the time you just want to be careful. All right, don't buy right here. Again, a pretty simple concept. So, okay, the next thing is volatility. All right, be careful about the volatility. All right, let's look up Ren's token. Okay, what's the market cap on this? Yeah, so this token right here, Ren's, has a market cap of 456,000. Now that's pretty low. I usually like to trade things that are in like the at least a million to 10 million range, even like 50 to 100 million range. For market caps, there's a good swings. But for something like this, you gotta be aware that we're looking on the 5 minute right now. These candles right here. Look at this. There's a 3% drop within 5 minutes. Okay, this whole entire dump was a 10% drop. Like that is just woo. That is scary, okay? So you definitely want to be aware. I guess this does tie into risk management a little bit. You might sit here and say, well, this looks like a good area to buy. It looks like it's, forming a higher high or a higher low. We have a higher high, I guess, right here and a higher low. It might still uptrend. But what are you risking? Look at these. Even if we zoom into the minute chart, this was much more volatile in the past, and we actually talk about that in a second here. But these drops, I mean, look at this right here. Imagine buying right here and then saying and just hoping, right? Imagine buying right there and then immediately losing 7% of your investment. That is scary. Okay, so I guess that ties into a little bit of risk management. But I just want to say, be aware of the volatility. Okay, and I guess I don't have to look at a different chart here. Even back here, even back here when there was actual volume on this, some of these moves. I mean, 20% down in 30 minutes. You definitely be aware of like what you're touching. Now, I'm not saying there isn't good games to be made here. I mean, if you bought the bottom from here, it'd be a 3x. But be aware, okay? And the third to last thing I want to speak about, at least with the charts, the last thing I want to speak about with the charts is be aware of volume. Okay, just simple things, all right. Personally, I would never trade a chart like this. I would never trade a chart like this. Who's buying this? No one's buying this anymore. We need a catalyst. Like, there's no volume, and it would be different if maybe like if you look up like Uniswap, wrapped BNB, things like that. Let's look up Uniswap. Okay, I bet you the chart's kind of gonna look the same, right? Where not too many people are trading it, but a crap load of people are holding it, and that's the difference, right? The market cap here is 300. Yeah, two. Okay, I was looking at the holders. 2.3 billion. Okay, that's much different than Ren's, which has 500,000 market cap, and nobody's trading it. What if that one person who happens to be forgot about their $1,000 bag in here decides to dump it out? I'm like, oh crap, well this thing's done, and then dumps the whole chart. Okay, be aware of that. So far, I'm rambling. I gotta stop. So far, okay, don't buy the top. Be aware of the volatility. Okay, risk management. And don't trade things with no volume unless you're expecting a catalyst. There are exceptions to that. And finally, two things, okay? When you're trading on PancakeSwap or Uniswap, all right, don't set your slippage too high. Now, I came from launch trading. I launch traded for quite some time. And in order to get into some of these, tokens that could easily 2x within a few seconds, I'd have to set my slippage incredibly high to 49%. And just recently, I got wrecked doing that. I got destroyed. It's horrible. I lost like 20% of my investment immediately because I got front run. So don't do that. I feel like that one's also kind of obvious. Unless you're like in that space where you have to raise your slippage, most likely you already have your slippage at 1%. But I just want to point that out there. Okay, I wouldn't recommend having it any lower. This applies, to PancakeSwap, Uniswap, whatever you're using. I wouldn't recommend having it any lower than 1% personally, because I just hate it when my transactions don't go through. Because sometimes I'll be trading a breakout and other people are seeing the same breakout and they're trying to get in at the same time I am. So definitely want to be fast in those scenarios. So anyway, that's the thing. And the very last thing, okay, I traded a token once that I thought was 0.0. All right, and I put a decent amount of money on it. And immediately I saw that I was down 15%. I was freaking out. I had no idea what was going on. And then I used the website that you're supposed to use and found out that was actually a 15/15 tax. Crap, are you kidding me? There's no volume here. This is great. No, so if you're not aware of Token Sniffer, it's a great little website to sniff. It smells like a rug. To sniff your tokens, okay, and you'll see if it's good or not. It'll tell you if it's actually sellable, if it's not a honeypot, what the taxes are, whether or not the contract is verified. If the contract isn't verified, do not touch it. And a bunch of other good information. So I'd always recommend, unless it's obvious, especially if it's a launch, or unless it's like something on a centralized exchange. Like you're not going to do this with like wrapped Bitcoin or like Luna, even though we all know what happened to Luna, but we still know that it's a 0-0 tax and it's technically safe. So that's all. That's all I wanted to do for today. Hope this wasn't too long. If you made it this far, I hope you found this information useful. Feel free to check out my Twitter. Feel free to smash a like if you did like the video, of course, if you found it useful. Leave a comment. I do enjoy criticism. That's all. Have a good one.